Sorry, it's going to be a late night for you. Hi, Nandita.
Hello. Yeah, it's 10:30 right now.
What was the time at your place?
10:30 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, pretty late night. So we have audience pouring in, and we are almost about time. So welcome Nandita to this masterclass, and welcome everyone who is joining and still joining. Um, Hi everyone, welcome to Edorer's masterclass. This is Saurabh Gupta. I'm the CEO of Edorer, and this is going to be the third edition in our data science and AI series and business analytics series actually. And today we have very popular and very successful. I definitely see her as a very successful business analyst and data science engineer at Adobe. Her journey has been very inspiring. She is really one of the most sought after person. You can see her making appearances in various conferences, events, workshops, training people, not just on data science or inspiring them on data science, but also in general how women and in general students can really achieve success in life. So I have a formal introduction to make about Nandita. But before that, I'm just going to tell everyone, a lot of you already know this, the rules of this masterclass. Uh, this masterclass is going to be about 60 to 90 minutes session. Nandita, do you have a presentation today? Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So we have a presentation from Nandita, and after that, we'll be open to Q&A. Now, meanwhile, if you have any questions while she's presenting or talking or giving a talk, you can actually ask questions in the Q&A, or you can also ask in chat. Once we start with the Q&A after the session is over, you can also ask a question in person. So you can raise your hand, and we'll be putting in the spotlight, and then you can actually ask your question in person. You can enable your audio, of course. If you want, you can enable your video as well. Otherwise, you can simply keep asking and posting your questions on chat. Now, guys, this is a very interesting session. Like we had session from Ritvik, um, from Devansh, and now Nandita, and tomorrow we have Arjun. And these are all data science leaders. These people know what they have done from scratch when they didn't even know anything about data science or business analytics or anything. And today they have made a successful career. So for you guys, it's going to be an extremely wonderful opportunity interacting with somebody who's actually made it. So before she actually begins the session, let me quickly share my screen and introduce Nandita. Okay, so I'm sure you can see my screen. This is Nandita Krishnan. She is a passionate women leader in data science who loves mentoring students and young professionals on their journey to learn data science and analytics. She's currently a data science engineer at Adobe, US. She completed her BTech in CSE from PES University, India, a prominent university, and Master of Science, MS Business Analytics and Project Management, basically, from University of Connecticut School of Business, USA. She's very vocal with a love for data science and business analytics and has been invited as a speaker and a mentor at many conferences and events. She's a role model not only for aspiring women business analysts or data science leaders, she's also a loved mentor and she's conducted many workshops, and which is why we have engaged with her not only for this masterclass, but also for her boot camps, which are coming up in Singapore and Malaysia, and also in Amsterdam and Berlin, which is an 8 weeks which is an 8 days abroad plus 8 weeks online program. We'll talk about it later. Quickly, okay, so yes. So this is, so presenting Nandita. Nandita, the floor is all yours. And we are really excited to hear it from you.
Thanks, Saurabh. Thank you so much for the kind words. Yeah, I hope this session is useful for all of you attending and you get some value out of it.
Absolutely.
So I'll start by trying to share my screen.
Yes, you have the permissions.
Okay.
And guys, please be very open. This is a very friendly session. You can ask very basic questions. So don't hesitate. We actually are here to help you out. So be very open. You can grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever, and enjoy this session. Yeah, Nandita, all yours.
Okay. I think I might have to quit and reopen because I just installed Zoom on this one. So I'll be back in a second.
No
That's
worries,
okay.
no worries. Please take your time. So, guys, while Nandita is setting up, there's some technical issue. No worries, she'll be back in a few minutes. You guys also need to understand that most of these data science leaders who are coming up, they have had a very expansive career, not only in India but abroad. A lot of them are coming from the US, like Nandita herself, Ritu is also from the US. So of course we have a time difference, a big time difference. So there is 12 hours, sometimes a 10 hours, a 9.5 hours difference between them and us. So, okay,
Okay, let's hope it works this time.
all set?
I think so. Do you guys see my screen?
Absolutely, yes. Wonderful.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so hello everyone. This is Nandita, and this session is about how you can kickstart your career in data science, the steps that I followed, and hopefully it can help you guys too. Before I start, just a quick agenda of all the things that we're going to cover today. A little about me and a little about what is data science and why it makes an attractive career path, and who should choose this as a career path, and where do you start? What are the different roles in data science? Should you pursue further academics? What are the foundational skills required to get into this job, how I did the roadmap that I followed to get into my dream job, and some tips to stand out. Okay, so a little about me. My name is Nandita, like I said. I'm a Malayali, but I've stayed most of my life in Bangalore. Um, and I love pottery. It's my new and latest hobby that I'm obsessed with. And I do a bit of running and video editing. As somebody who's working in Adobe for the video tools of Adobe, I thought I must sharpen my skill in video editing too. So that's something I'm doing. And I live in the Pacific Northwest of US where hiking is very common. So that's also something I've been doing a lot recently. Other than that, I've always loved coding. I've always loved problem solving. Computer science has always been my favorite subject, which is what led me to my undergrad engineering in computer science. And from there, I got my first job at Deloitte as a consultant in the healthcare industry. It was not exactly my dream job because it wasn't technical, but it was a great job. And I learned a lot of skills which I now find very, very useful, like communication and handling clients and things like that, which one might underestimate. At least I did. But then now I feel like those are some skills that I'm still carrying with me and using it in my data science job. And then, but like I said, it wasn't exactly what I wanted in terms of the role that I was looking at or the career that I was looking for. I wanted something more technical. And so I started looking at what are the other options that I had. And I decided that I wanted to do masters. So I started looking at all the options. And then I came to the US after 3 years to do my masters in business analytics and project management from University of Connecticut. It's on the northeast of US. And yeah, from there, that's where I got the foundation for all my data science skills. And from there, I got my first internship at Adobe as a data science engineer. And yeah, that just translated into a full-time job. And here I am. I'm working as a data scientist at Adobe right now. Yeah, so before I get into how I got here and things like that, I want to begin with just the basics. So what is data science? Data science is more than just number crunching. It is about interpreting and communicating data to solve real world problems. So, some of the main components that I see of data science are statistics. So, statistics serves as the backbone of data science. It provides the methods that we use to make sense out of the data. And then machine learning. A method, machine learning is basically that helps us automate the analytical model building. And then analysis is also an aspect of data science, which is the process of inspecting, cleaning, and modeling data to get useful information out of it. And then, of course, computer science. It provides the tools and techniques to handle the large amount of data that we're doing. And all of this helps us with these applications like predictive analytics, which is basically using data science to forecast events based on historical data, or recommendation systems where we use again data to recommend things used a lot in companies like Amazon and Netflix and things like that. And then image and speech recognition used by Siri, Alexa, for example, and fraud detection. The banks and other financial institutions use data science to detect fraudulent transactions and things like that. So what makes data science such a coveted career? According to me, there is few things that make it so in demand, and that's the high demand for these roles. So obviously, right now with the AI boom and everything, businesses everywhere are generating more data, and so the need for more data scientists increases. Companies need experts to help them make those data-driven decisions with all the data that they're generating. And then this high demand and the need for a specialized skill set leads to higher salaries for the data scientists. Data scientists also have the opportunity to work on projects that can directly impact the company's performance and strategy. I can give you an example from my own experience. I have the opportunity to work with product managers and engineering managers working on the video products like Premiere Pro to impact decisions entailing the product experience, things like features on the app or even just UI changes on the application. All of these decisions can be made and are made by looking at data. And then versatility. That's an interesting thing about data science. I think it can be applied to various industries. So it doesn't matter what you're interested in, whether it's predicting disease outbreaks in healthcare or optimizing logistics in retail, the possibilities are endless. And then continuous learning. So I think this we know, data science is a rapidly evolving field. There's always something new to learn, whether it's a new programming language or a new machine learning algorithm or just new data visualization tools and techniques. It also means that we need to keep up with the changing trends and tools. So this is an important question. Who should choose this as a career path? How do you know whether this is something you will like pursuing or you will like working on? So if you are a problem solver, data science is all about solving complex problems. And if you think you enjoy challenges and have strong analytical skills, this could be the right path for you. And of course, math enthusiasts, there is a strong foundation in statistics and mathematics that is crucial for data science. So if you enjoy working with numbers and formulas, this field will definitely offer plenty of opportunities. Um, And if you have like a background in computer science or you're proficient in programming languages like Python or R, or just have a good understanding of algorithms, this is something you would be comfortable with and you'll probably excel in data science. And data science is also about being curious and asking the right questions. So if you enjoy exploring data to uncover patterns and insights, this field will definitely keep you engaged. And this is one of the most important aspects of data science, which is understanding your business. So understanding the business needs and being able to translate data-driven insights into business strategies is a very key aspect of data science. If you have a knack for understanding business processes and goals, then again, that could make this a rewarding career for you. Okay. So say, for example, you have, gone through all these steps and you know that this is what you want to do, and you've figured out that this is something that you want to pursue as a career. Well, where do you start, right? That's a big question. I would begin by understanding the different roles within data science. The more you understand that, the more certainty you'll have about the path you want to take, and that'll accelerate your preparation also exponentially because uh, there are multiple titles, and while they all fall under like a big umbrella of data science, there are minor variations of skills needed to excel in these different roles. And when you start looking at jobs, you'll notice that these titles mean different things to different companies. And that is one of the just one of the sad realities of data science as a field. But if you can read those job descriptions and identify exactly what they're looking for, and if that is what you want, then you'll be in a better position. So for example, these are some of the different roles. Data analyst. A data analyst is somebody who collects data from various sources and interprets patterns and trends. Once the data has been gathered and interpreted, they can report it back with a comprehensive study to the business or relevant org. Some of the skills that are popular among data analysts are SQL, Excel, R, Python, and visualization tools like Tableau, Power BI, things like that. Next, we have the data scientist. Data scientists lean more towards predicting future based on past patterns, or they also play a crucial role in decision making in an organization, and also help in like predicting the trends of the market. And some of the skills that are more popular among data scientists are Python, R, machine learning, deep learning, and of course, communication skills. Next is the role of a data engineer. So a data engineer prepares the big data infrastructure to be analyzed by the data scientists. These are mostly software engineers who design, build, integrate data from various sources, and then manage the big data. Some of the skills that they use are Hadoop or MapReduce, Apache Spark, Airflow. And then we have the machine learning engineer. Machine learning engineer is somebody who designs and implements machine learning applications or systems, interprets the results from these applications, modifies them, and then ensures that it's working as intended. Some of the skills, again, could include Python, TensorFlow, scikit-learn, neural networks, NLP, some of the more technically inclined skills. And then last one is the business intelligence analyst. The business intelligence analyst would be somebody who is trying to help figure out the market and the business trends. So they use data-driven insights to help the company make more strategic decisions. And some of the skills here would include business knowledge, SQL, data mining, AI, machine learning, etc. Now, in my role, I wear multiple hats. We have one data science team that is responsible for all the data related tasks for the products under my organization. So data engineering, machine learning, data analysis, I do a little bit of everything because that's just the way how our team works. And it's not very uncommon to a lot of companies have teams like these where employees may have to take up different kinds of roles. In my experience, it's a great learning opportunity because you get to explore all the roles, and then you can determine whether from that experience whether what it is that you really enjoy about this work and what is the path that you want to take in the future. Yeah, so I also have a book recommendation. This is it's called Analyzing the Analyzers. It's a book by Harlan Harris, Mark, and Sean. And I suggest reading this book if you want to get a better understanding of the different roles and how they differ from each other and all the skills required and everything. I think this is what helped me understand it really well. So this is a very common question that I get from people. Should I go back to school? Whether they should pursue a master's degree or a boot camp or something else to pursue this career. And I believe it depends on a lot of factors like your goals, the time commitment you can give towards this journey, investment of money, and your own discipline. You can always choose to self-learn these things at the comfort of your home, but it requires a lot of discipline and willpower to get there. On the other hand, a master's degree or boot camp will ensure you're on track for this journey. Comparatively, a master's degree will be longer and may cost higher, but it'll give you a very in-depth experience with the opportunity to do research or internships in the process. On the other hand, a boot camp is better suited for you if you're looking for something that costs lesser, is of shorter duration, and includes more practical skills along with immediate industry exposure. Edorer too has these boot camps, and might be something you want to look at if boot camp is the route that you're planning on taking. Excuse me. Um, Now I'll go over the roadmap that I followed to get my dream job as a data scientist during my master's degree. I was doing my master's when I first got the internship at Adobe, and the grind wasn't easy. It's always a bit of a struggle navigating the job market, of course, but I eventually got what I wanted to, and I want to help all of you trying to get into data science to navigate the job market with lesser hurdles. So I started by making sure my basics are strong. Like these things, for example, basic statistics. So a strong foundation in statistics is crucial for any data scientist. This includes understanding concepts like confidence intervals and z-tests, all of which are used for hypothesis testing and estimation. And more general descriptive statistics too, like just mean, median, mode, variance, probability distributions. Yeah, all of these are very important when it comes to data science and are common themes of questions asked by interviewers during yeah, interviews. Next would be Python or R. Both of these are like popular languages in data science due to its simplicity and also the vast number of scientific and mathematical libraries that are available. From the basics of the language to more advanced techniques like data wrangling, manipulation, these are all the things that are usually tested on for data roles. And SQL. SQL is also another such language used for querying databases, very popular and very commonly used in most companies. Data scientists need to be proficient in SQL to extract and manipulate data stored in databases. And then machine learning algorithms. So while you don't, depending on what role you're looking for for most roles within data science, you don't really need to know like the stats or the math behind these machine learning algorithms, but just understanding the types of algorithms that exist and understanding the logic behind how these algorithms work, where it's used, what are the use cases, and the assumptions that are carried out in all of these different algorithms. I think that should be good enough for you to get your foot in the door. And then product case studies is another thing. For product case studies, you may be tested on multiple things, from how well you understand a product and how you can answer questions geared towards the product or the data from a product, to being able to create A/B testing experiments. It's a huge umbrella of questions, but these are some of the things that you can probably focus on if you're diving into the product case studies. And lastly, behavioral interviews. This may not seem as important, but it is just as important as any other technical skill. The way I tried to master this was by keeping a book of stories where I wrote down any experience from my past job or group project where I thought I made an impact or achievement in some way. So I maintained this book of stories where each story would be written in the star format. I don't know how many of you are already familiar with this, but it's a popular technique used to answer behavioral questions. It stands for situation, task, action, and result. You'll find more on it online, but basically trying to answer questions in this format will improve the way you convey the impact of your work to your interviewer. And it is known to be a very effective technique in handling behavioral interviews. So that's one method, one approach that I tried and was pretty handy for me. And I think these are also the skills that will be covered in the masterclass hosted by Edorer in the upcoming months. But apart from that, I also have these resource suggestions for you. Lead Code, HackerRank, these are common websites, but there is a certain website called Scratch, which is more geared towards data science. It has same coding questions just as in HackerRank, but it has more data science type questions with data cleaning, data manipulation, all those things. And the next two are books. Ace Data Science Interview is a good book with a lot of interview sort of questions, and Trustworthy Online Experience Experiments is another good book if you want to get a better idea on A/B testing and real life examples of all those things. So, whatever I mentioned until now were the fundamental skills that will be tested during any interview. But there are also some additional things you can do to stand out to your recruiter. Some of these things include just iterating on your resume. So keep monitoring what's working and what's not. Take suggestions from other peers or seniors and keep improving your resume every now and then until you've crafted the best version possible of your resume. The other thing I would suggest is to try and create an online portfolio. So start solving projects online. You'll find a million of these projects on Kaggle. Or if that doesn't interest you, you can make your own projects. Interviewers love it when you get innovative with these projects. Some people mix their passion to try and solve data problems on things that they're passionate about. Whatever it is that you want to work at, you'll also find many databases online for open source use that you can use for your project. And you can also create your own GitHub account to list and upload all your projects so that anyone that's looking at your resume has like all your projects handy and can look at it themselves to see your work. Lastly, I would say go and sell yourself and your skills to potential employers by attending a lot of networking events or other data conferences. Data conferences, in my opinion, is a great way to network and learn more about the industry. That's pretty much it. Just to recap, data science is an amazing career path for those who love problem solving and have a knack for finding patterns and asking the right questions. And I think with the right set of skills and knowledge, you can easily get there. I would be happy to take any questions now. Um, I do see some questions on the chat. Maybe I can go over that. The type of degree, there is a, so, okay, so just for everyone's knowledge, I see a question from Namrata asking if the type of degree matters for data science. I don't think the type of degree really matters. For example, I took a degree in, I mean, it needs to be within the field, of course, but again, within the field, there are so many degrees available. Like there's data science, and then there's masters in business analytics, and then I did masters in business analytics and project management. And there are definitely more involved, but I think it doesn't really matter as long as, because most of the courses have an option of choosing electives. So if you have the flexibility of choosing your electives, and if you can choose more technical electives that are related to data science, I don't think it should really matter that much. Let me know if that answered your question, Amrita. Uh, there's a question from Pradeep Singh. I want to be a data scientist, but I'm not good a mathematical. What should I do? Honestly, you don't have to be too good at maths or anything. You just need to know like basics that we learned during our school. It's mostly just like I said, mean, median, mode, probability distribution. A few things would be extra like confidence interval, z-test, but it's pretty basic, and you don't need to like deep dive into too much also if you don't plan into taking up machine learning or anything like that. Um, uh, what is the difference between cybersecurity and data science? I believe there is data science within cybersecurity as well, but cybersecurity is just a different industry or a domain, just like healthcare or like tech, I believe. So okay, for this is a question from an anonymous attendee. For resume, if we are a data science project, then what else should we do for preparing for the interview? So, say you did a project and you added that on your resume, you would at least need to know the code that you have written very well. They may ask questions like, why do you choose a particular algorithm, or why do you use these visualizations? Just knowing your project inside out so that you can answer any questions based on that. There have been times when I was asked to do like a live round of my project where I had to go through the entire project in front of the interviewer and just answer questions or just explain everything that I did. So that's also a possibility. Can you please share on how you got the masters, like the exams you wrote, or if any scholarships you applied for? So I think for business analytics, there are not a lot of scholarships available as far as I know. And school that I was going to definitely did not have any scholarship. But if you look well in advance, you might find something. Not too sure about that. About the exams, I wrote GRE, TOEFL, yeah, the classic exams, and that was enough for the course that I did, and I think is enough for most courses in the US. Doing DS in India versus outside. It depends really on what your goals are. If you want to, like, I did it in US only because I wanted to like stay here and get a job here. So it only makes, if you want to like get a job here, it makes sense to come here to do your master's. Otherwise, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, I think.
We're through with the presentation.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a call. So, okay, so I think you've already started the Q&A. So wonderful. Please
Yeah.
go ahead. Keep
Yeah.
taking the questions. Just wanted to understand, maybe I can run a little poll. What's the kind of audience that we have today? Like, do we have more of engineers, more of management
Yeah.
guys, so that we can accordingly fine tune
Yeah.
question or address questions which can cater to the larger audience. But anyways, you can
Make
pick questions. But I think one of the questions which most of the people are asking, like, they're trying to build a career in data science. And if they're
Mm-hmm.
already pursuing engineering or let's say BCA or some technical stuff. So first of all, can we actually establish the difference between business analytics and data science? And what's the background needed for
Mm-hmm.
making a career? Like, do we actually, like, you are a very passionate coder, like you like technical stuff. So does somebody have to be really that technical to build a career in business analytics and in data science?
Right. Okay. So, like I was talking about this in in the presentation as well. These are terms which are very vaguely used by companies. So while business analyst could mean something in one company, it could mean another thing completely different in another company. So, but in general, I would say business analytics involves more of Excel, SQL, more data analysis and cleaning. Whereas in data science, you have to, there's more of a little bit of machine learning and predictive analytics and things like that. So if you had to compare for the technical skills, data science role would definitely require more technical skills when compared to a business analyst role. Um, and but like if you're curious about, if anyone's curious about the masters that you do or the courses that you do to get there, I think it doesn't really matter as long as you get the foundations, because most of these things you can choose as electives and things like that. So for example, I did my master's in business analytics, but in my batch, there were people who became machine learning engineers and data scientists and data analysts. So it kind of depends on what you learn and prepare for the roles. Oh, you're on mute, sorry.
And every role would have different involvement or engagement in terms of your technical capabilities. Like, I'm sure everybody here should understand, because we keep getting this question a lot from a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, I can see one of the questions by Hemant here in chat, that is learning coding necessary for data science, owing to the fact that AI can write most of the codes. Now, why we have to establish this is because, when there are two kinds of students, right? Even in engineering, one who are really passionate about coding and they can actually pursue careers in software development, product development, and data scientists and whatnot. But there are some people who understand coding well, but then they think that, okay, is there some alternative career for me? If I'm really not that great, not that passionate about coding, is there something else? Like, for data science, we understand we have to have good understanding of SQL, Python, and a couple of other things. Like, what's your take? Can somebody, the simple question is, can somebody who is not really good at coding be a good data science engineer?
I do believe that if you want to get into data science specifically, then you would need some level of interest or knowledge of coding. That being said, there are other roles within the data umbrella, like data analysis, data analyst, for example, doesn't require that much of coding experience or knowledge. There's a lot of usage of Tableau and Power BI, which are more click and point functional tools. You can get by that for the most part, but still you would still need some level of SQL and Python knowledge. But for data science, as for data scientist role specifically, it does heavily use a lot of coding. So if that's not something that you love or enjoy doing, I understand that AI definitely can do a lot of the coding, but I still feel like you need to have some level of understanding to be able to use AI to make that code or write that code.
True. And we had this discussion in earlier masterclasses as well. Of course, there are a lot of platforms which are coming up, which are like no-code platforms. In fact, there are a lot of data models which are already set for many
Mhm.
industries. Like for instance, if you're working as a business analyst, in specific, let's say for instance, you're working in Amazon. Now you understand that there are certain kinds of, and the company or the team would have already worked a lot of algorithms. Maybe there are some sort of iterations or let's say little changes that are needed, and you can really run those things. So not every time, and even otherwise as well, there's a lot of frameworks that have already been
Mhm.
fed with a lot of data, and you can actually use those frameworks and then do a tweak a little bit, and then actually work on your respective requirements as well. But anyways, nonetheless, what's important is, as a business analyst, if you're actually going for a business analyst, it's more of the business side of things. It's more of meeting the demands of your senior management or of the company when you actually have to come up with certain analytics. And of course, like Nanda said, for that you would need more of SQL, and there are a lot of other tools like Power BI, Tableau, AWS QuickSight, and whatnot. But when you're actually running for a data science role, a data science role is going to be more technical. Like you said, you should definitely have some understanding of coding, basic mathematics, statistics is all of that is important. And in order to understand like what should be the curriculum and what should be the roadmap, like when you are actually like whether you are a business analyst or data science, at the end of the day, you have to come up with uh, some insights from the data. That's the whole objective. I'm like, you have data. How do you actually clean up that data? How do you actually collect the data? That's the first thing. And then how do you work on the data to get the insight that you actually want? So, Nandita, do you want to take up a question, and then we can quickly after that run them through the curriculum also? So, which I
Mhm.
think we have shared, and I can share it in my screen, and you can probably give your comments on that, and even I can talk about it, wherein we can show the students like what should be the roadmap if you really want
Mhm.
to be in business analytics or data science. But before that, maybe we can pick a few questions. Have you spotted anything?
Yeah, let me look. Yeah, there's again, I see a lot of questions about do you need to be really good at coding, but I think that's answered. Yeah, just you need to have some level of understanding or interest in programming. You don't need to be an expert or anything like that, but if you want to get into data science specifically, then some level of
Interesting question here again by Stuti. She said, I'm curious to know if there's, in the chat, I'm curious to know if there's a particular aspect of data science that you find most compelling or have specialized in. Could you share a bit about that area of expertise?
So in my experience, I'm one of those people that sort of was just talking about people who love coding and programming and all those things. So for me, the most compelling part is the problem solving aspect of it and the art using all the programming languages. So as a data scientist, you're constantly presented with problems and for example, if you're in a role like mine where you're working for a product, there are always things coming up for the product, whether a feature is working well, or why isn't the feature working well, or why is the product crashing so much. So it's your responsibility to look at this vast amount of data that you have and try to pinpoint it to a singular problem. And I think that's something I enjoy doing. I like the problem solving aspect of it. I love that I get to use the programming languages and do some coding to do all this work. So yeah, that's my
No,
preference.
Nandita, we keep hearing this that one of the prerequisites to
Mm-hmm.
being a good data scientist or a good business analyst is the problem solving skills. Now,
Mm-hmm.
can you just emphasize, because this is such an intangible skill, like how do we actually develop that problem solving mindset?
Yeah, I think it just comes with practice, but also if you aren't in a job role already, you can, I think, develop this mindset by just like trying to find data sets that you can work on. So there are lots of websites online that give you access to a lot of databases.
Like,
Just find a database, sorry.
some of the way, because students are
Oh,
really curious about all those examples.
I don't have a website handy off the top of my head right now, but I remember for my master's, I looked at this data set for which had flight information from all the different countries, from where it goes, all the cancellation delays. And we were just given that data set and asked to look at it. And then that's kind of how you sharpen that mindset. You try to look at a data and try to figure out what are the things that you can explore through this, what are the things that you can solve or like figure out, so I would just recommend just like trying to find data sources online. Oh, Kaggle is a good website for sure. It has lots of databases, and it also has a lot of questions, so you don't even have to think about the data on its own. There are a lot of challenges and things that you can do to get to these things.
Okay, you can probably pick up something from the Q&A. I don't know how much have you attended.
Yeah, I'm trying to mark it as done as I go, so
Okay.
whatever is not done is.
Meanwhile, if somebody wants to be pulled up and come in the spotlight
Oh,
and ask a question, please raise your hand. I think we do have some. Okay, I think. Okay, so Amit and Vani, I'm pulling you both, and so whoever can take the lead can ask the question.
Yes. Hi, Nandita.
right.
This is Vani. So I am basically a postgraduate in agriculture. So I want to be coming from this line, data science, because as of now, I have a 13 years of experience in research and development, marketing, and project management and training. So L&D, so different versatile area of experience in agriculture only. So I want to be, because nowadays all the these data science related thing coming into in agriculture. So agriculture domain they are asking. So what is the keen course, or what is the please suggest me for to learn any courses or something related to, because already I'm having a 13 years of experience. I don't want to spend so much of time. See, masters 1 year, 2 years, but
Mhm.
so I have the interest. So I want to come to this side. So please suggest.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think you have tremendous amount of background already in agriculture and all those things that you mentioned. So for you, it's just about learning the technical skills. And I think like Saurabh was mentioning earlier, he will probably go through the Edorer's boot camp also. But other than that, there are online courses on Udacity or Kaggle or Udemy also, where you can go through a lot of these certification programs. They are quick, and you can, I think it gives you enough of like knowledge to break into the industry.
So you are suggesting for L&D platform. What I'm asking, what is the course name? Course name. What is the course or program
See,
I have to
yeah,
learn?
please, Nandita, you go ahead and then I'll address this.
Yeah, I get your point. Okay. I do not remember any course names because I didn't have to take it, right? I did the master's program. But if that's something that you're interested in, I can try and look at it later and maybe
I
reach
think
out to
what
you.
she's trying to say is like you could probably go for some course. If you're going for a course online, then you can pick anything which is in fundamentals of data science.
Mhm.
Like most of the programs will be like that only. I mean, like, they'll be very clear that this is what the program is. If you don't want to
Yeah.
go for
Yeah,
MS,
Shaurabh. So what is these fundamental data science and all? These are all very good for this computer related graduates, right? So
Mhm.
for me, if any particular, for example, if I want to go for, because Nandita put one slide excellent. So what are the, I mean, business analyst, data analyst, and statistics.
Right.
She gave the types of which type we want to go, we can go.
Roles.
So
Correct.
for example, in statistics side, for example, agriculture, related to agriculture, so you
Mhm.
suggest some courses, or whether I have to learn or program, or if I turn, because I don't have the idea, because I'm a
Correct.
different stream.
Okay, no worries. So
So,
that's what I'm saying. A lot of people will have questions like this, and which is why, see, a lot of times those people want to make a switch, and people like you, and that switch also happens with students. A lot of students are in different, disciplines of engineering, or a lot of
correct, correct.
sometimes in management, in other streams, and they want to make a switch. And every time they think that, okay, if I want to do something in business analyst or data science, or let's say data analytics, I need to be very strong with coding. Of course, there is some element of that coding involved, but what we have broken down, and that's the collective wisdom that we have come up with after so many, data science leaders and business analysts have come together. What we believe that anybody with, like Nandita also said, with a problem-solving frame of mind and a basic understanding of mathematics, if you have that, I think you can actually make a career in this.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah, yeah.
right? So, and I'm sure even if you're not from engineering, you still have some inclination, some affinity, some understanding of mathematics. And I think we will take you through a curriculum after this. And that exactly talks about, if somebody is a novice, has no background in coding, no background in engineering, how you can still make a career in this. So we'll talk about it, and then you can choose, okay, at what level you really want to go deeper into it. Then you can probably go into more technical profiles and roles in data science umbrella. Business analyst and
Yeah.
data analyst is also part of that umbrella, and then you
As
can
you
actually decide. Mhm.
as you said, for me, more into technical. So I don't want
Okay,
to in depth. So in technical, because nowadays it's gaining more blooming or knowledge. I mean, more curiosity related to agriculture and this one,
okay.
data science,
No worries.
artificial intelligence.
Vani, we will address this question. I'm
Sure,
just
yeah,
the
sure,
next
sure, sure.
person, and
Yeah.
you will. Then by the end of the session, you'll have the answer. Okay.
Correct, correct. Thank you, Nandita. You have a great presentation, and yeah, your communication is so clear. So thank you. Huh?
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thanks, Saurabh. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, man. Amit, do you want to ask a question? I think Sachin also has a question. Sachin, can you type your question again in the chat? Amit, can you ask a question meanwhile? If not, then I can probably ask Raji. Okay, yeah. Nandita, can you take this question from Sachin in the chat?
Yes. So the question is about Sachin, who enjoys coding and wonders if he should do MS in data science or MIS or MEM or MBA. Yeah, I think Sachin, that's a great question because there are so many options available and it's very confusing. I think I can't answer this for you. You probably need to figure out what it is exactly that you want to get into, because all of these roles can get you into a technical role. What I did when I was doing my master's or looking for a master's role was I actually went through the curriculum of all of the courses that I was interested in for that particular college, and I tried to understand what it is that fits my goals, and that's how I chose my program. So while all these options they've given are really good options, MS in data science or MEM, like these are all popular options. I think it would be best if you can look at their curriculum and see what it is that interests you so you can
But
decide
Sachin,
what.
look at your options that you're given. One, you're talking about MS in data science. Then you're talking about MIS. Then you're talking about MEM and then MBA. I mean, like some of these are like poles apart. I mean, like Nandita said, you should understand what's basically your priority. I mean, like what is good business analyst or IT in management? Okay. See, it all depends on where your skills lie, right? So if you have more, I don't know what's the first thing begins with exposure. If you have the right kind of exposure, you can make the right decision. That's the first thing. So I don't know if you have done enough research about business analysts, that's one, and also about IT in management. How do you do that? You can actually find all popular courses online or with universities, in campus, on campus, whatever, and try to go through the curriculum. Once you go through the curriculum, you will understand, okay, these are the topics that I like. Okay, these are the topics that that probably make sense. And second, you also look at what is the outcome. Once somebody is a business analyst, what's the life that they have? Try to imagine yourself, try to put yourself, okay, is this the life? Is this the kind of challenge that I really want in my working life? And if that excites you, if you should also listen to some more successful business analysts, or if you want to go, let's say, IT in management. See, IT in management, you have to understand something. See, if you are actually doing business analysts, you're actually talking about working with data more and coming up with great, like more outcomes and decisions that can be made based on those data outcomes. One is like, you could also be doing predictive analytics and decision analytics and standard analytics and whatnot. But what I'm talking, and if you're doing actually IT in management, see, IT in management, which means that you could probably be doing some roles wherein you will have to maybe you could be a product manager, or you could be more of like managing an IT team, but you need to have some understanding of IT. So these are two different things. But what I'm simply saying is, like you said, now you said this, if you're good in code, if you love coding, you're good in maths, business analytics, or let's say data science, this is definite. There are tremendous amount of jobs that are coming up in different companies. You talk about the biggies, you talk about the Fortune 500, you talk about the startups. Every company today is playing around data. So if you have this skill, that is definitely going to help you. So if you have to choose, my take would be business analyst over IT manager. Nandita, do you have any suggestion on this? And then we take the next question.
I was actually typing in answers in the Q&A section, so
Okay. So what do you think? Like, somebody who really, like from your perspective, if you had to choose a business analyst role or IT in management, what would you choose? Only for
I think business analyst aligns closely to what I need. So I think what I would tell Sachin is just like figuring out what it is that he wants towards, like, by after the finishing the course, what it is that he wants. And if you're confused about that, you can just, work on projects in Kaggle or like online platforms and see what part of it really excites you or interests you. And you can kind of like figure out what path or what course you want to take after that too.
Okay, cool. I hope you got your answers. You want to pick any question from the Q&A?
Yeah, I'm gonna just check real quick.
And if you're missing anything, guys, you can post it on chat and we'll pick you up.
Rajvi has a question about entering into data science as a fresher without wanting to pursue a master's degree. I think that's completely fine. You can, if you don't want to do a master's degree, that's fine, because everything is available online these days. And if you have the willpower and discipline, you can definitely find some courses online and like break into the industry through that. I think there are just a lot of questions about somebody from being about people being from another background, having a non-data science background, wanting to transition into data science, and what recommendation for them would be. I think just learning the foundations of programming languages like Python, SQL, the things that I spoke about in the presentation, that should be like a good segue to enter the industry. See if you enjoy coding and looking at data, doing data analysis. That would be, I think, a good segue. But if you want to do a course, there are master's courses or Edorer also has a masterclass or a bootcamp session that you can try.
Meanwhile, there's one question. So, Tiruvai Jaypreet, we will talk about this. Like a lot of people want to know how to do that. If you want to make a switch, all that. Quickly, we'll do this after this. We ended this session a little early, so we have good time for the Q&A. So Yash, your question is like, how is YouTube for learning DS to get internships? Let me tell you, YouTube is definitely great. I mean, like all democratic methods and channels of learning, they are wonderful. And if you're getting learning from anywhere, you should take it. Whether it's coming from free platforms, whether it's coming from YouTube, whether it's coming from you're following some channels, whatever it is, do that. Learning coming from anywhere and the right source, and if it basically inspires you and you're basically able to understand that, grab. Coming to the next part, can you get internships in DS without master's degree? I'm in third year computer science engineering BTech. Can I also get a internship with some company? Nandita, you can address this, then I will probably address.
Internship in India, I think it is possible. I haven't, it's because I came here pretty soon. I don't really know, but in the US, because of the visa rules and things like that, you have to be on an F1 visa for at least there are certain rules basically. So you can't, I think, just get an internship without studying over there or without the student visa. But I think in India, you should. I'm actually not quite sure how it works. So, Saurabh, if you have a better idea, maybe you
Yeah,
should.
sure. So guys, like we work with, when we have built this boot camp in data science and business science, we have really come up with a lot of industry mentors. And these are the people who are actually working in different companies like Accenture, she's working in Adobe, Amazon, and there are multiple other companies, even Google. And there's so many other companies in Singapore and Malaysia also who are actually participating in the internship boot camp. Now, if you really want to get an internship, let's say as an engineer, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, the first thing is you need to understand, and there are so many engineering students like you. In India, you understand there are more than 12, 15 lakh engineers. And every student would really want to get, let's say, some sort of an internship. Now, how do you stand out? How you stand out is by building your portfolio. So the first thing that you need, let's say you want an internship in data science. Now, before a company could be interested in you, they would want to know what you have learned. What are the skills that you will bring to the table? And to do that, the best way is building your portfolio. You should have a great GitHub. You should have, great portfolio on Kaggle. At least you've started something, so that they have some confidence to you. Because a lot of times they do not have internship opportunities open. But when they have the right candidate, they would really want to entertain. So you really would have to be compelling. You really will have to be persuasive. You have to come up, A, you have to come up with a portfolio. B, you have to reach out to people. And I know, unfortunately, what I have seen, a lot of people do not really realize the importance of LinkedIn. I mean, trust me, LinkedIn is super helpful. There are more than a billion people. Almost every person who works in a good company is on LinkedIn. So I think one of the best ways is you can actually reach out to people on LinkedIn, try to tell them that, okay, this is the work that I've done, and also start posting on LinkedIn. Don't, trust me, don't waste your time on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or any of the social media. Like, please don't do that. If you really want to do something, and if you really want to use some platform, LinkedIn is the platform. Use that. Try to try to post things that you have been studying doing. That really builds your portfolio. So LinkedIn post is also one of your portfolio. A lot of people don't see it that way, but that is true. Employers, people and companies and everybody, they actually look at your, not just LinkedIn profile, because that's just a resume. So, okay, fine, you should have a good LinkedIn profile, but also engage. Join all the communities in data science. Try to post your suggestions and comments and everything there, and then reach out. That's how you will be able to get internships. If you are not able to do that yourself, you can actually be a part of our boot camps, and we will help you with getting internships with so many companies while you're still studying. So we will again talk about it. Nandita, can you take this question by Pawan Kalyan? He has posted something. Pawan Kalyan Chapa.
Okay, let me check the Q&A.
The question is in uppercase. All of it.
I understood. Oh, okay, got it. I understood what sir said about business analyst. Now I'm interested in BA. I'm currently pursuing final year. Suggest me some good platform to learn business analyst course. If you're looking for, sorry, do you have something to add?
No, go ahead. I'm like, that's what we were trying to come to for a long time.
Yeah,
But anyways,
yeah. So if you're looking for online platform, it would be the same as for data science. You can look at Coursera or Udemy. All these will have good business analyst courses, and yeah, you can look at the same. It's anything that has data science courses will also have business analyst courses because their foundations are kind of overlapping.
okay, I think we can quickly take everybody through the curriculum that we have so that we can most of the questions I'm sure will be answered in that. Just sharing this screen. So guys, we'll quickly take you through this. So we have this boot camp. Nanda, can you see my screen? This thing as well.
Yep.
I mean, like the foreign internship in Singapore, Malaysia. Can you see that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. So you can see the whole time actually. Okay. So guys, you can actually go to this link and you can apply for this business analyst and data science internship bootcamp. Now, this is something for people who have zero idea, absolutely no idea about what business analyst and data science roadmap should be, and they don't have any exposure. But what you understand is that these are the domains, these two terms, these are the domains, these are the skill sets of the future. Currently, it's a massive demand which is happening. If you can actually go to LinkedIn or you can go to any job site and try to just search for business analyst jobs or data science jobs. You will yourself see the kind of demand that currently exists. But of course, you need people who are skilled. You need people who really have some sort of expertise before any company can pick you. And to develop that expertise, you really need to have the right roadmap, starting from the beginning until also you start building a portfolio, you start doing projects, you connect with the right people. Networking is such a big thing when you want to make your career. If you know the right people, that is why I talked about community, how important it is to be part of the community where all the action is happening. So with that, so you can basically apply, I'll share this link, and it also talks about whatever that you will learn in this internship. And then if you go to Edorer bootcamps and you click on this, you will be able to see we have multiple bootcamps coming up in Amsterdam and Berlin and also in Singapore and Malaysia. How it begins, it's basically an 8 days abroad and 18 weeks online. Online is going to be Saturday and Sunday with mentors, like the multiple mentors from different companies. You will also be visiting NUS Singapore and having sessions from NUS Singapore professor. And also you'll be visiting UPM Malaysia, which is one of the biggest and the best university in Malaysia. So who you will be learning it from? You'll be learning from academic mentors and industry mentors. And these are the people who are going to be talking to you, taking you through the whole sessions and everything during the program of 8 days abroad, and then 18 weeks online. You will also do multiple projects and everything, and I'll just take you through that. Now, you have to understand why have we planned the 8 days abroad first, and why we have chosen Singapore, Malaysia, and Amsterdam. So Singapore and Malaysia definitely is one of the biggest hubs when it comes to roles in business analysts and or let's say in general. It is Singapore is like the New York of Asia. All the action, big companies, every big company has an office there. It's very easy for Indians to move to Singapore as well. It's also great to meet a lot of mentors, and also second and the third thing is also very affordable. Similar thing happens with Amsterdam and Berlin as well. That's also sort of the epicenter for all the action in Europe. So if you really want to have a career in those countries, you can actually be a part of the network and the community there. There are multiple ways. If you do not really see, an international career doesn't mean that you always have to work in a foreign country. An international career means that you're working in a company which can actually connect you with a global clientele audience, co-workers, and you can move to different locations based on the project or whatever they have. So anyways, otherwise also, and let me tell you, in India, the kind of salaries that business analysts and data science people command, that is way upward 2, 3, 4 lakh rupees per month. CTCs can range from 25 lakhs to 50, 60 lakhs. Even freshers can draw a CTC of 15 lakh plus. So all of that is possible if you have the right skill. Now, so this is how you build the skill. So when what you're seeing in my screen is that during the 8 days, and why these 8 days, on campus is important. You can do a course completely online, but what you're missing in an online is, one, it is basically recorded sessions. So there's no live interaction. So of course you miss all that fun. And anyways, you want to learn from an asynchronous session, you can do it on YouTube. So what is important is having live session. And then how it is even more important is that if you can actually meet all the people at the beginning of your journey. Think about this. The highest motivation that you need is when you actually begin a journey. If you really know, if you're really motivated, if you really have met all the successful people in that domain, and these are the people that you yourself want to become in a couple of years from once you complete, and you're already meeting them, you're already networking with them, you're already connecting with the right companies, you're already connecting with the right professors, and you're learning from them, and you're trying and you're understanding the benefits of this domain, the clear roadmap, because these are the people who have done mistakes themselves. You can learn from their mistakes. What are the mistakes that you do not have to make when you actually pursue your data science journey or business analyst journey? And which is why we have this on-campus retreat kind of cohort, which is 8 days, and you can see the schedule on my screen. There's a lot of sightseeing and fun and all of that is there, but you also have every day you have a business analytics session. You have Ask Me Anything sessions. You have a lot of tours to companies. You also have tours, and if you really are interested in entrepreneurship, you will also be visiting certain startups. When you meet those startups, you will understand how they use data, how their business analysts work, how their data science leaders work, and you can also understand how, if you really want to start on your own, you will also be meeting a lot of investors in one of the sessions. You can see that it's mentioned here. And then of course you have about 10 sessions just on the business analytics and data science. And in each of these sessions, you're going to meet different people, and they're going to be mentors who are going to be with you throughout the day and night. Basically, we may have a lot of night out sessions as well, a lot of night out discussions with these leaders during this entire thing. So we will be sharing this with you, and you can actually have a look at it, how this will actually change your complete mindset and understanding. Once you have that mindset, then you have this 18 weeks online, Saturday and Sunday, 3-hour session, 10 a.m. And you will have training, doubt clearing sessions, brainstorming sessions, Ask Me Anything sessions, master classes, case studies, projects, mentorship, one-on-one career counseling, career coaching, and networking with the right kind of people. If you miss any session, of course, all the sessions will be recorded and they'll be available. Some of the mentors and leaders who are part of this, these are the people who are going to train you, and you can look at the background of the kind of people that they have. These are the people that you yourself aspire to become, and you're going to be learning from these people. Now, coming to the curriculum quickly. So we understand that the data science umbrella, or the business analytics approach, or the data science approach, would have two components to it. One is the management core, and one is the technical core. The management core is where you try and understand what's the problem solving, what's the problem that you're trying to solve, and how do you come up with solutions based on the data, and how do you actually how that information percolates to different stakeholders, your team members, your product leaders, senior leadership, everybody. And everybody would look at data and look at different, would be interested in different kind of outcomes. So that's what you'll be able to provide when you actually look at the management side of it. In the technical, of course, like Nandita said, you would be running some tools, you would be running some sort of basic programming here and there. And that's how you will be able to process the data and come up with analytics. So these are the modules. We have 16 modules. And all of this will be done. We will touch most of them during the 8 days abroad. 8 days abroad is more of foundational, very strong foundation. And then when you come back, all these sessions start happening online, but you will be taught by the same people that you met and learned from during the 8 days abroad program. Now, so you'll have understanding business and data analytics. You'll have a session on module on business problem solving. You will have data pre-processing and cleaning. Then you will have mastering MS Excel for data analytics. It's again very important. If you really understand, because these are the tools that you're going to use real time. You would have seen a lot of master classes, people talking about learn Excel and all of that. And you'll know how to create great dashboards. All of that is just 2-3 hours stuff. But you should know that. That's really important, right? After that, you will be doing EDA. EDA is so important for your foundation in business analytics and data science, exploratory data analysis. You'll be doing that. Then you will also be understanding concepts of SQL and how you do analytics with SQL. There is a detailed module in SQL for data science. Then you'll also do Python for data science. So you will understand, even if you have no understanding of coding, don't worry. What we need is that you should have basic understanding of mathematics. And you don't hit stats. Just these two things, if you really like this much, you are good enough. You are a ready material to learn Python programming, and we'll help you learn that. Then statistics. Once you're done with these fundamentals, then we'll take you to what predictive analytics look like. You will do a lot of regression, forecasting, and all of that using that. Then you will be learning the tools. So you'll do data visualization with Tableau. You will do data visualization with Power BI. You will do data visualization with QuickSight. All of that is very important. And you can see in all the modules, you have case studies. The entire approach is more of case studies. So you will understand what exactly. So when we teach you a module, you will always be starting with a problem that's a live problem that some industry has, maybe in healthcare, in finance, or whatever. They have this, or in e-commerce, they have this problem. And how do you address this problem, or that using the data that is available, and how do you process the data? Every module talks about a case study, and every module has a project. So you will be doing 14, 15 foundational projects throughout this curriculum. And then, of course, you will do a massive capstone project as well in the end. You will also be doing module on intro to ML in data science. You will then, because once you're done with this, you're almost ready. But you should also know what are Gen AI tools, what are the current AI tools that are going to be like your armor. I mean, like, these are the things that should always be there in your quiver. So you should know what best tools do business analysts and data science leaders use to enhance efficiency. How are they more productive in the job? So you will be going through all the tools, and we have mentioned most of them here, and you will be exposed to each and every tool in the module, and there will be real life applications so that you understand that module well, and then we will also help you get more exposure to it once you get access to the tool, and then come back to the doubt clearing sessions. Then, of course, you will have applied analytics and data-driven decision making. Now, that's a very important part of how you connect strategy with data. So that's a very important aspect, and that also you will go through. Then the most important is storytelling with data. Storytelling, how you actually build a compelling narrative around any project. Forget about just data science. In data science or in business analyst, you have to communicate with multiple people, okay, in your company, or even in your own startup or any company that you maybe want to, or any pursuit that you want to pursue later. Now, what happens is that you have to communicate with your peers. Your peers could be high-end data scientists or data analysts, or let's say other business analysts. You also have to communicate with your managers who really want you to come up with some sort of analytics based on the data that you have, so that they can make better decisions for their business. You could also be communicating with the senior leadership, the CEO, the COO, and whatnot. And how do you impress everybody on the way? You impress everybody on the way when you have the right kind of narrative which is suitable to that person. And how do you do that? And that is exactly what we'll talk about. And this you will learn from data science directors, like senior business analysts who are like consultants now. They will tell you, when they actually communicate with the client, this is what we do. When the client is when the other person is a client, this is how we communicate. When the other person is my technical team, this is what we do. My brainstorming team in business analyst, this is what we do, or data science. And then my managers and my senior leadership. And all that storytelling is important. And this is something which is not taught at all. You will also learn best practices and hacks. And these best practices and hacks can only come from people who have done it. Like learning it from a professor or learning it online where he just delivers and just goes. There is absolutely no takeaway. There is absolutely no practical implication or application of that. and which is what is missing in most of the education that is available. This is going to be different because you will, when you start your journey, you will start with what not to do. Because these are the people who have really burned their hands at something and they're telling us themselves, do not start with this. This project, do not, set up your variables like this. Just I'm telling you some very basic things. These are the people who will tell you, okay, no, start with this. Okay, this is the problem, look at it this way. And they will also share their own hacks that they have developed with the people. Then you will have a capstone project. All these details are, by the way, also available on the website. If you go, the entire curriculum is available. We will also have some optional modules for people who really want to dive deeper. We will have some separate sessions after 18 weeks online. Data engineering, machine learning with Python, NLP and deep learning, data structures and algorithms, and then of course, big data. So this is essentially what the roadmap would look like. Meanwhile, Nandita, if you want to pick any question, you can pick. And I'm also dropping the link to this page. You can also get some scholarship. You can also choose which path you want to choose, whether you want to choose Singapore, Malaysia, 18 weeks online, you want to choose Amsterdam, Berlin, 18 weeks online. There are multiple cohorts happening in July, August, or December. If you say, I have my sessions or whatever, there are so many students already going. You can actually submit this in your college, and trust me. And by the way, you'll also get an internship certificate. You'll also get a bootcamp completion certificate. You'll also get certificate from all the companies and the universities with it. So you'll have multiple certificates, and then you'll also have a big portfolio on Kaggle and GitHub and everywhere else where it is relevant. So this is so you can actually take a call with and this is only and whenever we are planning this, you can look at the dates. It also has a weekend. In fact, the August one has August 14 and 15. So you have that weekend as well available as holiday to use. You'll hardly miss 2-3 days of your college. And then you can also do it in December. So there are multiple cohorts that we are running. And then you can take a call. Okay, cool. Nandita, if you have any question, you can pick meanwhile, and I'm just dropping the link.
Yeah, thanks for taking us through that. I was also just answering the questions on the Q&A. I think somebody asked for the PDF to be sent.
Okay, yes, we will. Oh, so you have to apply to this link. I'm just sharing it in the chat. Once you apply to this link, you will automatically get, these are the two links. One is for the internship and scholarship. And the other one is all the details about the bootcamp. Once you apply, you will receive an auto emailer with all the details. There is an early bird until May 31st. So we already have limited seats left. There are 2 batches in every cohort. So like July, we have 2 batches going, and every batch is going to be about 35 to 40 people. So the first batch is 100% subscribed. The second batch is open, and you can apply for it. So we have some questions.
I can also drop my LinkedIn and Medium if anybody is interested in asking more questions.
Yes, please do drop that. So if you have any question, like Nandita is also going to be part of the bootcamp. She will also be training you online for a lot of modules. So you will learn from her directly. And when you're actually learning from a real in-person mentor who is not just a trainer, but who is somebody who's actually doing it, has done it education-wise and experience-wise, you can actually really learn the real nuances, which is what is so important. Okay, guys. So I think we will just take up maybe another 2-3 questions, and then we'll wind up this session by 12:30 India time. Did we miss any question?
I tried to answer most of them.
Okay. Is there anything that you answered, typed, but you want to address that?
Yeah, so I did post a link with a lot of good data sources on the chat for those of you who were asking. I think that's a good place to start.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. So I think, guys, you have most of your questions answered. You also, when will we get the certificate for today's masterclass? Yes. So yes, before we end this session, So you will receive the certificate for this masterclass. All those candidates who have attended this till the end, the masterclass certificate will be mailed to you within 24 hours of max by Monday. It'll be a PDF or an image file, and you can actually use it. You can also post it in social media if you want. All the detail, all the information will be available in the email. Coming to the video and the PPT, this video is going to be available on our YouTube channel. Once the video is available, you will also receive the link to that video over email. So wait for our emails, check out our emails, and you will get all the information. So wonderful, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a lovely audience, and we really look forward to, yes, one more thing. Tomorrow we have a session with Arjun Srinivasan, 7 p.m. India time. And that's going to be a wonderful session because he has been at director level in data science, and he has seen it all for probably more than a decade. So he has been a director for more than a decade. So you can understand the kind of experience that he has. And the session tomorrow is going to be extremely enlightening. So if you have not registered for it, go to edorer.com/masterclass and you will find the link there. Click on it and apply. And we'll see you guys tomorrow there for that session as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nandita. I think people really enjoyed the session. There was a lot to learn, and we all look forward to learning from you in the bootcamp as well. So
thanks for having me here, and I hope this session was useful to all of you. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to help.
Yes, guys. So you can connect with Nandita on LinkedIn, and she'd be happy to connect. And you can also meet her in the bootcamp. So thank you so much, Nandita. I know it's almost about midnight for you. So enjoy your night and have a good night's sleep. And take care. Bye-bye. And thank you everyone for participating.